I'm Leo Sidran with The Art of the Story. Since the very beginning, jazz has been fueled by myths and legends. Jazz musicians are among the best raconteurs alive. And in the pantheon of legendary jazz stories, pianist Keith Jarrett's recording of the Köln concert in 1975 ranks among the top. The album, which features Jarrett performing a totally improvised solo concert captured during a midnight performance at the Cologne Opera House, is both the best-selling solo album and the best-selling piano album in jazz history. And it's a concert that nearly didn't happen. This is where the legend part comes in. It's a story that's been told among musicians for years, and now it's being memorialized in the film Köln 75. See, the show had been organized by an 18-year-old girl named Vera Brandes, Germany's youngest concert promoter at the time. She was a jazz fan from a young age. She got her start by organizing events at her school.
So I was on my bicycle from one rehearsal room to the other, and I would go and look at the bands and pick who we wanted to invite for our next school party. So kind of I grew up as a promoter.
As her ambitions grew, Vera was self-assured enough to trust herself more than most of the established jazz promoters she encountered.
I said, if that's the level of your professionalism, I think I can match that.
That's how she eventually organized this concert for Keith Jarrett. But due to a mix-up at the Cologne Opera House on the night of the concert, the wrong piano had been put on the stage, and rather than a Bosendorfer Imperial, which is one of the most extraordinary and expensive pianos in the world, an out-of-tune, broken-down rehearsal piano was left on the dark and empty stage.
It was not playable. It was just a piece of wood that would serve as decoration at that point in time.
Jarrett took one look at the instrument and said there was no way he could play it. Vera snapped into action and managed to find some piano tuners at the last minute who wrangled the piano into some kind of playable shape.
I think the secret heroes of the gig are the piano tuner and his son.
With the piano more or less manageable, she still had the task of convincing Jarrett to play for the sold-out Opera House audience.
And I just begged him to play. And he just stared at me. Neither him nor I blinked until he said, "Okay, I'll play, but never forget, just for you."
The resulting performance, which was captured for ECM Records, tells the musical story of what happened that night. Vera says she could tell it was special from the moment it began.
Everybody in that room knew that this was a very serious spiritual lesson. I mean, what transpires when you listen to the album, that happened that night.
The film Köln 75 tells the story through an urgent and seductive lens. Director Ido Fluke described it as a jazz story with a punk rock ethos. The immediacy and humor, sex and counterculture running through the film make it one of the most accessible and engaging jazz films in recent times. And as Vera Brandes tells it, it's very close to the way she remembers it.
The spirit and most of the details are completely correct.
You can experience most of the details and all of the spirit of Köln 75, which opens this weekend at IFC Center in New York and will play in limited release around the country later this month. For more information, visit zeitgeistfilms.com to see what a jazz legend looks like when it becomes a modern movie. I'm Leo Sidran, WBGO News.